In the West, there are cowboys of two kinds. The ones who wear white hats, and the ones who wear black hats. There are also the men without hats, but we'll talk about them later. This is a guide on a black hat, unless you bought his chroma. I would continue to describe how wicked this champ is, but it would only serve as a hat on a hat. Today, we're going to be talking about how to win the West as Urgot. Urgot's a strict constitutionalist. He's basically an Antonin Scalia on spider legs. He's a big believer in the Second Amendment and believes in the right to bare legs. He's modded himself to have a shotgun attached to each one of his legs. These activate every time you hit a minion, monster, or enemy. Use these by crab walking around the enemy, hitting him with every blast. Urgot's W is his Gatling gun. Urgot's got a semi-automatic, scary black gun of doom on his arm. This weapon of war fills the enemy with more holes than Swiss cheese factory? Do they make Swiss cheese in factories?
This time on How We Build Things, Swiss cheese. We start by having Urgot start his W. He then proceeds to fire at the closest target. He pumps them full of more lead than the average can of paint. Lead paint. This makes it so you can paint the lane red, in the enemy's blood.
Did you know that Custer had a Gatling gun when he left for Little Bighorn, but decided to leave it behind because it would have only slowed him down? I'm sure he turned out fine without it. But this translates to Urgot too. When his W is active, he's slowed. So take this into consideration when you're trying to ride into the sunset. Your W may be slowing you down. Having it, though, is essential if you plan on keeping your scalp. Gatling guns can be very indiscriminate, and will fire on whoever is closest. That makes it so if the enemy decides to hide in the minion wave, it may be difficult to hit him specifically. This is where Urgot's next ability,
Oh, hi, Mark.
comes in. Urgot's Q slows and marks the enemy, making them a priority for Urgot's W. As a matter of fact, every ability marks an enemy, but they may not be as useful as this one. Urgot's E is Brokeback Mountain. He lunges forward to manhandle the enemy. You see, Urgot's a top laner. This makes it so he can just throw around his partner like he's nothing. This not only establishes his dominance, but also stuns the enemy and throws him behind you. You can flash during your E for those long distance meetups. You can also use it to escape if you're yellow. Urgot ults by sending out his beacon.
A new hand touches the beacon.
When a champ gets below a certain threshold, you can reactivate it to pull the champ into your meat processor. And just like that, you got scrumptious hot dogs ready to eat. Enemies around you are justifiably feared about seeing their ally made into schnitzel. The ultimate goes through shields, so Mordekaiser and Tom are especially vulnerable when they're at low health. You can ult at the beginning or end of fights, but be aware, the duration doesn't last forever. So if you don't get them low enough, it'll just slide right off of them. Also be aware that if the enemy becomes invulnerable during the ult, like Trinomir, Kindred, or Stopwatch, the ult won't work. Use this to turn fights or snipe the enemy as they're running away. Now for the real reason you've come here. How do I cheese the enemy as Urgot? Well, I'm happy to oblige you. When Urgot's W is max level, there's a short cooldown. Urgot's normal auto attacks do more damage. So if you spam your W using it as an auto attack reset, you'll do more damage per second than if you were to leave your W running. This is essential with Urgot and will ensure that the cowpoke that's going in the ground is not you. This can also be used to melt towers. In terms of ability upgrades, you want to start with E. look for any grabs you can get. If you land your E, crab walk around the enemy, and congratulations, you just got first blood. You then want to get your W and then your Q. Your combo for Urgot is you want to E the enemy and then simultaneously W and Q to ensure all shots land on the enemy while making use of your legs. Rinse and repeat until you win the lane. You want to take flash for your flash E combo. In the early game, if you think you can hit the enemy with your E, go for it. Playing Urgot's a lot like using the Pony Express. You just gotta send it. Take TP to quickly return to lane, or to TP town bot lane to get a quick pickup. Be sure to focus the carry, or else your Morgana is gonna flame you for absolutely no reason. It's not like you're freaking carrying or anything. That's about all you need to know. Everything else I can't teach you. But before I ride off into the sunset, I want to tell you about a posse I'm forming. If you're a rootin' tootin' shootin' cowboy, you might consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Join in our Discord. By the way, I fixed the Discord link, which has been broken for the last 5 videos. I don't know why anybody didn't tell me that. Also, consider supporting the channel on Patreon or by buying a less than 1,000 club t-shirt or sticker, now available on redbubble.com. The sleek black design and minimalistic icon makes them great for all sorts of activities like going to the park, robbing banks, and a third thing that I don't know because I didn't write this beforehand. I'm just sort of freeballing it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for now. Adios.